Okay. Welcome back to Might and Magic 4 and 5, World of Zine. So, yeah, I played a lot of these games, actually. Quite a lot. I don't know if I have a count. What would be my best guesstimate? When did I record that last video? So that was 2 days ago. Okay, so... I don't know. Maybe I put in like 16 hours. Something like that. And that's fast. I mean, for how far I've progressed. I'm actually near the end of the 5th game. It's fast, but that's because I'm using basically, I'm using Where Are We, which has all the maps, so I know all the secrets. I know all the solutions to every puzzle in the game instantly, things like that. If you were to try and play this game blind, just going in, no walkthrough, no maps, no nothing, it is a fucking journey, man. You better be smart as a whip, I'll tell you that. So, yeah, but if you want to speed through it, just for the fun experience with Where Are We? Yeah, I mean, you're probably looking at like 20 hours. For both games, give or take. So right now I'm in Castle Alamar, which is basically the final dungeon of the 5th game. So that means that I have beaten Might and Magic 4. That was ages ago at this point. And then pretty much they're pretty separate, okay? They're pretty separate experiences. So 4 is basically its own game, and then you can go to the world of 5, the dark side, at any time. Like we did, if you remember, you go through the pyramid right at the start. And a lot of people suggest, if you're just trying to speedrun or you're just trying to get through the games quickly, you basically just skip 4 almost entirely. At least at the start, because if you go to Dark Side right away, there's a lot of cheesy ways to just get massive amounts of XP and money. Like, that just kind of invalidates most of what you're going to do in 4 anyways. Because that, it's basically intended to just be like a catch-up mechanic, at 5. Like, okay, if you're a little weak at coming into 5, here you go. But if you just go there at the start and grab all that shit real quick because you know where to go, yeah, you can very, very quickly, get up to like level 15 or whatever, and be ready to just play 5. But other than that, they're pretty separate games. There are 3 dungeons, I believe, in Might and Magic 4 that you cannot access until you've done some stuff in Might and Magic 5. And so they're pretty high-end dungeons, obviously. But that does allow some crossover between the 2. And then sort of the big finale of 4 and 5, of World of Zine, is actually uniting the 2 worlds. And that's like the final quest. That's the final thing you do. So we're going to try to do that today. I don't think that's strictly required to like beat 5. I'm not quite sure. Again, I wasn't playing these games in 1994, so I don't know exactly how these things were back then. I don't know when World of Zine came in. I don't know if when 5 came out, they just automatically were connected, but I don't think so. I think when they came out, they were just 2 separate games, and then World of Zine came out the following year after 5, and then that was a combined product, so I'm not quite sure. But anyways, yeah, if you thought like all the stuff in 3 was kind of cheesy with like how much they just kind of hand you of like stat bonuses and level ups and things like that and XP and money, yeah, you haven't seen anything. Because 4 and then especially 5 is just gonzo, man. It's just ridiculous. And so here's the stats for Cecilia. She is level 127. She has an armor class of 233. Actually, I don't think that's accurate. I think I just picked up, like, temporary AC. I think. But might of 132, intellect of 102. She doesn't even use intellect. You know, she doesn't even use personality, but there's so many things that just bump up all your stats that you know, it gets up to those numbers. And I think these are actually somewhat low, all things considered. Although there's some like coffins you can find or chests you can find where you have to have 200 might to open. Now, obviously, of course, there's like fountains you can go to that just give you 100 might temporarily and stuff like that. And I think that's what you're intended to do. Actually, legitimately getting up to natural 200 might through stats and equipment, I don't know. I mean, I assume it's possible. Yeah. But yeah, she has right now. Also, all of our health is bumped up because of a fountain, but ordinarily she has 2,794 HP. Right now, 5,293. You also notice our party gold is at 69,824,671, and we have 1.1 million gems. So, one of the things, I started to get just stupid amounts of XP. I mean, there's a certain point where because there's a lot of puzzles in this game, especially in 5. There's a lot of like puzzles and riddles and stuff like that. And if you solve all those, they give you massive amounts of XP and rewards and stuff. But they're tough. I mean, it's not easy. I imagine if I tried to play this back in the day when I was like 10, I would have struggled. I would have struggled and struggled. Nowadays, I just don't care to like struggle or think about it too much, so I just use the program to tell me. But yeah, you just get stupid amounts of XP. And there was a point, I swear to you, where all of my characters had like 50 levels just waiting in the wings, ready to be trained and leveled up. And I couldn't because I didn't have enough money. Because money is a bit harder to come by. And it's actually pretty important in this game, unlike some of the other Might and Magics. And so, if you want to do it in a somewhat non-cheesy way, there's like these gem mines that you can go into and mine for gems, like gemstones. Not gems, but gemstones. And you can pay the god of minerals 250,000 and he replenishes all those mines, so you can keep mining gemstones infinitely. And then you give those gemstones to some craftsmen that are outside of the gem mines, and they'll make like high-end equipment for you. And if you have them make like armor, like plate mail, ring mail, scale, you know, all that sort of stuff, you can then sell that for a pretty good chunk of change. And you do have to pay the 250,000 to the guy in order to replenish the mines, but like a ruby plate armor sells for like 120,000, you know. So that's a slow method, but it is doable, and that will give you an infinite potentially amount of money if you have enough patience. It's not particularly fast. If you don't care about that shit and you just want money and gems as quickly as possible, then you're going to invest in the bank, because the bank interest rates on Zine are insane. I think someone said it was like 287% interest a year or something like that. Like, it's an absurd amount of interest. And so then to pass massive amounts of time very quickly in order for that interest to accumulate, you work a job, because there's a couple of guys where you can just work for a week for like 100 gold. And so you just work for decades. And so that's why my whole party is around 83 years old now. Because they worked for like 60 years And yeah, and now they're all multimillionaires. Go figure. The American dream on Zine, baby. Yeah, and so now I actually had 100 million, and I had to spend 30 of it just to get them up to level 127 or so. And they actually all still have 6 or 7 levels that they could go. But yeah, levels are not super important. It doesn't raise your stats. So all it really raises, I think, is your attacks per round, which is good. And your HP and I think SP, I believe. I think that's it. I could be wrong, but yeah, so like our barbarian now has 32 attacks per round. I'd like to see that in Dungeons and Dragons. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so I mean, we're pretty goddamn powerful, as you can imagine. So all things are good. Another thing. I know I do want to play, but once I start playing, I'm gonna lose my train of thoughts. So let me just get all this out. So in Might and Magic 3, they introduced like big buffs, you know? So there was the heroism buff and the bless and the holy power or holy bonus, you know, things like that. That raised like your damage and your armor class and reduced damage to you and stuff like that. But they were expensive to cast and they only targeted one target. So they didn't get used too often. You know, it's kind of an interesting system of buffs compared to, say, like Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous or something, where you're just throwing out 100 buffs on your party at the start of every day or whatever. It was a very specific targeted buff that was expensive but useful. That changed in Might and Magic 4 and 5. Now they decided to just make those buffs last all day, and they all affect the entire party. So now you can see above their portraits there, you have that sword icon, the shield icon, the cross icon, and then the hero. So hero is hero bonus, I think. I think the sword is heroism, the shield is power shield, and then the cross is bless. So those affect the entire party the whole day, and they scale based on your character level. So Power Shield reduces all damage my entire party takes from every hit by, right now, 130. Heroism increases our chance to hit for the entire party by 126. Holy Bonus increases damage we do with every hit by 126. And then Blessed increases all our AC by 126. So that's pretty insane. You basically want those active at all times when you're fighting. But then they make it even easier for you because they give clerics, paladins, and sorcerers and archers and stuff package buffs. So you have Day of Protection and Day of Sorcery. And so this is a non-scaling cost, which is kind of okay, I cast it again. So this, I don't know why this does not scale with your level, because Bless scales. If I wanted to just cast Bless, it would cost me 252 spell points. If I wanted to just scale Heroism, Holy Bonus, all of those separately, that's 252. But Day of Protection, which is all of those, is 75. And it's always been 75. So when I first got it, it was actually a little tricky to cast every day. I had to grab a fountain that added more SP. But nowadays, I can cast Day of Protection like 10 times, you know, at least before I have to rest to recover my SP. So, you know, it's insane. It's insane. And Day of Sorcery adds Power Shield, Levitation, what else? Clairvoyance, Levitation, Power Shield, and Wizard Eye for the entire day for 40 spell points. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what they were thinking, but it's a big aspect of why these games, I think, are even easier than Might and Magic 3 was. Because having those buffs, especially once you get up to high levels, is just so pivotal. Okay, so here we're fighting giant robots with dual miniguns called Annihilators. And, yeah, they die in 2 hits. You may be wondering how much damage those attacks are doing. They just hit Gun for 5 damage. Okay, so another thing that's kind of cheesy, and I don't know if this is true for all blobbers or not, but you'll notice now, like, when we spot these Annihilators, they just start shooting, right? And we could shoot back, but we don't. Our ranged weapons don't actually do that much damage anymore. And so they just keep shooting you, and there are definitely times and definitely enemies where that's very bad. You do not want to get shot multiple times while you approach them. But the thing is, you can actually back up into enemies, and there's an Annihilator right behind me right now. But he's not shooting because technically he doesn't exist yet. But as soon as I back up one more time, we get thrown straight into the fight. Now his speed is 200, so he always gets to go first, but still, that's how much easier that is. And so it's very easy to cheese kind of large packs of dangerous ranged enemies just by facing away from them and backing up, which is just funny. If I didn't have the map that showed me all the monsters, it probably wouldn't be super viable of a strat outside of certain specific situations. But if I know that the enemies in the area are all dangerous ranged enemies, yeah, there's very little harm in just backing up into everything. So, you know. Air power field operational. Fire power field operational. Yeah, so the sci-fi elements are still quite prevalent. The big bad, Alamar, we have learned now is like an escaped alien convict or something like that. I'm not quite sure. And we spoke with this other alien who's crash landed here in his spaceship. And so we went into his spaceship and we had to like power down the stasis field that he was contained in. And the password to lower it was to boldly go where no man has gone before or something like that. So yeah, plenty of sci-fi elements. And then there's been like energy discs and all sorts of stuff. Okay, so like here. Okay, so here's a good example. If you're just playing this game, you'd come into this room, right? And you'd see this like field of like water and air and lava in front of you. And then you'd go up to this sundial here and it would just say fire time. Sundial reads 12. Turn? Yeah, I mean, you know. So, but where are we tells me that it makes the lava tile labeled with the same number as the sundial into a solid surface, and the other lava tiles into traps that fall through to level 1. Now, you could probably, I'm almost certainly, figure that out eventually. But it would take trial and error. You'd probably fall through a lot, or you'd save and load a lot, and it would just be kind of tedious. And that's the impression I've gotten of a lot of this stuff, that if you're not using a guide of some kind, it's probably going to be fairly tedious. Alright, so from what I can understand here, we probably want all these set to 9. Airtime. Okay, 9. So yeah, I mean, I think it goes without saying though that I've been really having a lot of fun. Just like experiencing the game, you know, using a walkthrough, blah blah blah, but it's still been a lot of fun. And to just kind of progress and get to this point and and have my level 126 party with, you know, insane gear and stats and all that. Okay. The time is right. What is Alamar's true name? So this was revealed by the other alien who called him this, you know. And his real name is Sheltum. Access approved. Okay, and so now we can go to the next floor. That one probably would not have been too tricky to answer if you were paying even the remotest amount of attention. Okay, so here you have just, I mean, look at this. Look at this insanity. So this whole room is filled with tiles of different types, and many of them are traps that will cause you to fall through to the last floor, but there is pathways through that you can walk. So I think we want to do this path. Again, just massive amounts of trial and error. There would be no way to know other than trial and error. That's what I'm saying. Like that's extremely tedious. Come to me. Boom, look at that. That was cool.
Come to me.
So we, this is a soul box containing that other alien, because the alien said that if he left the ship, this guy would detect him and start draining all his power. So we had to carry him here in this soul box, and now he's going to be unleashed and whoop ass.
Correct?
Yes, it is I. You have nowhere to run, Sheltum.
Nor do you. I'm ready for you this time. This fight will be your last.
I cannot fail.
Admit your defeat, Korak.
I do. Initiate self-destruct. Code 001.
What? No! No!
And that's the end of the game. If you showed that cutscene to anybody not familiar with this, Might and Magic would be like their last guess as to what game that's from. Jesus. And it's a very bold choice to have the final boss be defeated by someone else in a cutscene. You don't even get to, like, fight him and, like, fail or any... Like, no, it's just... You solve the last puzzle, which is just tedious bullshit, and then you throw a box in and you just leave. You're like, alright, good luck. Yeah, I was not expecting that. I thought... Basically, what I thought is sort of the traditional RPG thought, is that this guy would come out and he would, like, weaken the final boss, but he would die in the process, and then it would be up to us to kill him. That's sort of how these things usually go. But no, he just handled it. So the 2 aliens killed themselves and we saved the world. Because the plot was the bad guy wanted to get back to like his home planet. And to do that, I guess he was using this planet as like a massive spaceship. Like he was planning to use his powers, whatever, to physically move this planet across space to get back home. And then, you know, the planet would obviously make the trip, and he, I guess, would make the trip, but everything else on the planet would just die in the process. It's kind of interesting. Again, like, it's interesting that they're on the 5th game of their Might and Magic series, and they still are going with the sci-fi angle. Quite heavily. And so there's our final score. I don't know how that matches up to anybody else's score. I wonder if I can find like I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure maybe back in the day, you know, in like the old sort of oh god, what are they even called? Those like old message boards. You know, they might have people shared their final scores for Might and Magic 5. But yeah, I don't know. Okay. You've saved your game in Castleview. The world of Zine still needs you. Load your game and come visit me in the Great Pyramid for further instructions. Okay, so we can now go back to the Great Pyramid to visit that guy, the Dragon Pharaoh. That's your main NPC guy, the Dragon Pharaoh. Pretty cool. Where is he? I think he's in D2. Yeah. Whoops. I'm almost certain there's a faster way to get to this guy, actually. I'm almost certain there's a faster way to get to him because this is not a fast way. But anyways. So, how do these games stack up? It's hard. It's kind of hard for me to say. Because I wasn't using Where Are We for Might and Magic 3. And a big part of like the ease of play of these games and how fun it's been is just having Where Are We available to me. So I hesitate to say that they're just better than Might and Magic 3, although I think there are aspects of them that are better. I don't know, like, on the one hand, having all the buffs so readily accessible and powerful and all that, it's like, it does make you feel powerful. It's nice and easy. It's just, yeah, okay, every day I slap on those buffs and they're super great, and yeah, power, yeah. But there is something to be said for Might and Magic 3, where it's a much more calculated decision on when and where to use those buffs, and on who, you know, of your party. Whereas these games just remove all those decisions from you. Like, there's never a reason to not have all the buffs active at all times. Basically, you know? So, it's kind of hard to say. As for, like, the actual dungeons and towns and things like that, yeah, I might lean towards 3, but I'm not really sure why. They all kind of blend together, I'll say that. I mean, Might and Magic 5 definitely has like the most unique of the worlds. It's very like it's kind of Dark World, Link to the Past, basically. You know, it's called Dark Side, and there's a lot of that kind of gloomy, dark atmosphere to Might and Magic 5's world. Whereas 3 and 4, pretty similar in a lot of aspects, but I think 3 captured a bit more of that, like, sort of wonder, a sense of discovery and exploring the overworld compared to 4. I think 4's overworld is smaller, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I just think. I don't know. Could it be that 3 was the first of the 3, and so it just felt so new and fresh compared to 2? Whereas now, like, I'm on Might and Magic 5, and it's like, okay, I get the idea. You know, like, they all kind of blend together at this point. It's hard to say. I don't know if I could specifically point to any of them as being the best. I think they're all good and fun. I'll say that. I think they're all good and fun. And obviously, I kind of got addicted to all of 3 of them. So, yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend starting with 3 if you're interested in this era. There's, you know, start with 3 because it is a self-contained game. It doesn't have the 4 and 5 sort of wonkiness of being connected or anything like that. So yeah, I'd probably go with 3. But if you like 3, absolutely go right ahead with 4 and 5 because they're pretty much just as good.
You warm my reptilian heart. You have saved the world from Sheltum and freed the other side from the wicked Lord Zine creation. Now, with the cube and the scepter in hand, and the enemies of the world out of the way, the destiny of Zine is in sight. All you have to do is turn on the 4 machines in the corners of the other side of the world, awaken the elemental sleepers on this side of the world, and open the way to the cloud world above Darkstone Tower. Prince Roland and Queen Kalindra are getting married there. Oh, that reminds me. Have you rescued Prince Roland from the bottom of Sheltum's dungeon yet? If you haven't, that's one more little detail you'll need to take care of. Prince Roland needs to be free before he can get married to the Queen, doesn't he? Well, off you go. Good luck.
Okay, so that's the laundry list of bullshit that we have to take care of if we want to unite the 2 worlds and get the full ending here. So we may as well try and speed through this. So we have to go back to the cloud side of Zine, the Might and Magic 4 world. So there's no way to directly teleport through magic to each world, and you have to go through these pyramids. So we'll go back to... There is a once you get to the later game of Might and Magic 5, there is a decent amount of disc swapping, which is pretty annoying. Okay, so we got to go to F1. None of this shit is gonna stand any chance of hurting me, including lava. We have like 75 or 80 resistances to all elements. So we're pretty good. Okay, so we have to get over there through the void. So we're gonna have to teleport. Which of course is a little vague. You're not quite sure how much to teleport unless you use a map. I think we're going 5, yeah. Okay, so here's the fire reflector. Activated. Okay, now we'll just go back. And, you know, I guess if you wanted to be faster, you could just keep teleporting 9 spaces. You know, and keep going through that. Keep going, keep going. Okay. Similar thing here. Good. There's the air reflector. We're gonna go straight down. Okay, and then this one's a little trickier. 1, 2, 3, 6 is how far we're going. Boom. That's the Earth reflector. Okay. And then this is going to be 5. Okay, that's the water reflector. So now we have to go, I guess, back to... Fuck. We have to go back to Castle Alamar. Go back to Vertigo, the starting town. Remember this? Fun times. And we're going to go back to the dark side. And then we're going north to A1. Yeah, whatever. Whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. Okay, we're in Castle Alamar. Now we need to go to the basement, I guess. I may as well save. You never know what bullshit they might come up with. Day of Sorcery. There is still a lot of... Yeah, I mean, tedious. There's still a lot of tedium in this game. Some things that you just know will be improved. Like, it kind of just has to be. Like, so if any of your characters die, or if they go unconscious, all their armor is gonna break. And the only way to fix it, as far as I can tell, there's no spell that will do it. The only way to fix it is go back to town and go to a store, and then pay to have it fixed. That's the only way. And that's okay, I guess. I mean, I would have preferred maybe a higher end spell that let you... Here, okay, here you go. Zine Power Juice. This will give you +5 permanent levels. Done. 2 of my characters just gained 5 more levels. You just don't even think about it too much at this point. Yeah, I think there should have been a spell, but okay. Or, you know, it'd be nice if there was a skill and you could just repair it yourself. I don't know why that didn't exist. But then, like, if you go to a store, why not just have a repair all button? You know? Because it doesn't exist. You have to manually click on everything, every single item, broken item, to fix it all. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff like that. Just like little things that definitely could be improved. Okay, we have the key to Dragon Tower. That's what we needed. And then... I doubt we can etherealize through this. Yeah, okay. So then we have to come back here. So you know what? I'm actually gonna... Let's set up a fucking Lloyd's beacon here, because I have to come all the way back here. After getting that silver ID card. I don't think there's even anything in here. I mean, there's been some other things I probably can't even think of now, so they're not that big of a deal. Oh, and then this takes us to Shangri-La. And you can actually teleport here from the very start of Might and Magic 4. If you just type in Shangri-La at a portal, it'll take you here. And if you drink from this well, it gives your party +1 permanent level. Yeah, you know. Okay, so that's... So I came in here. That's Castle Alamar. If I exit out this way, it'll take me to the Volcano Cave level 3. Is this in Dark Side or Cloud Side? I feel like this is Dark Side. I'm fighting devils. Although that doesn't mean anything. Because like I said, there are a few high-end dungeons in Might and Magic 4 only accessible after playing some of 5. I don't know why I'm wasting my time in the Volcano Cave. We're trying to speedrun the ending here. I think I was just hoping that this would dump me out. Actually, I don't even know where I need to go. I need to go to the Dragon Tower. Which I think is Cloudside? Wasting so much time. Actually, if I just cast time distortion, I would teleport to the exit. Oh well. Yeah, we are in Cloudside. Okay. Interesting. So the Dragon Tower's at D1. So I need to go not this way. Here. Oh yeah, the tower in the middle of the lava field. Surrounded by acid dragons.
I see you have the key to this tower. You may pass, mortals.
Great. Okay, so we're in Dragon Tower now. Okay.
Ah, brave adventurers! Perhaps you can help me. I need a dragon egg to mix into one of my potions.
Yeah, okay, so if I get a dragon egg for him, he'll give me 1,000,000 XP. But it's really just like, what's the point? I actually have 17 levels just like stacked up, waiting to happen here. And I guess we can go do it before we end, but whatever. It's a whatever kind of point. It's another 500,000 gold. None of this is doing any damage to anyone, by the way, if you're curious. Okay, here's a dragon egg. This is +4 to +40 to permanent endurance for 4 characters. As if they need more. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this game just throws shit at you. Oh, there's the Dragon King. Dead. Oh, but there's like 8 Dragon Kings. You can't call out the Dragon King then. Great. So if I open this, it'll be 10 level 7 items, which are the best. And whoever opens it will take 10,000 fire damage. Yeah, I don't care to fucking fix my shit, so we'll skip it. I don't really need anything. Most of my party's decked out in level 7 items anyways. More gold. Here's the Tome of Great Experience. 10 million XP. So that's another 10 levels for all of them. So now they have 27 levels stacked up. Oh, and here's another Tome of Great Experience. Now they have 37 levels stacked up. No, so we need to get the silver ID card somewhere. Dragon Power Crystal will deal 2,000 electricity damage, but will add 3 to 5 permanent levels. Dude, what's the point? I mean, come on. I mean, obviously the idea is that you're not gonna... Playing this blind, you're not gonna get all this stuff. You know, most likely. Look into the eye of the dragon to despair, answer correctly or perish. What is the secret of the dragon? Infinity. Very good, mortals. Silver ID card. And that's what we needed. I mean, there's other stuff to be had here, I guess. But you'd have to go to all 4 corners of this big map. Where there's cloud dragons and phase dragons, energy dragons. 5,000 HP each. In order to piece together the letters infinity. And there's those dragon power crystals everywhere. There's like 15 of them. Oh, there's also a well here that will add plus 50 temporary levels. Alright, I gotta go to that. That's too fun. There you go. 50 temporary levels for a day. So we got the ID card. So now we can cast Lloyd's Beacon. Yeah, I know. I'm going to take the Dragon Egg with me. So we go straight back here. Access granted. Okay, so now we can go in here. And now we get the key to Darkstone Tower. And that's where we need to get the gold ID card. So now, Darkstone Tower is at B3. Probably also Cloudside. Doesn't say, but I imagine so. So we're going to do the slow-ass process. It's a lot easier if you have multiple characters with Lloyd's Beacon. But, yeah, we'll just... Pass? Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, he says it every time. And he's at the entrance to every town. So you'll hear that a lot. You'll hear that a lot. Okay. B3. 50 temporary levels are gonna wear off. Alright.
I see you have the key to this tower. You may pass, mortals.
Thanks. We're getting there. Pretty close. There's not too many steps left after this. Onyx Golem's 10,000 HP. Yeah, Takes me 3 hits. Gong for 500 magic damage. Let's avoid that. No sound. Okay, I have to do it. It's gonna kill me. Almost. Oh no. 500 magic damage. Never mind. That's nothing. It's not nothing. I mean, I am feeling it. But it didn't even put anyone in the red. 1,000 magic damage. Okay, that put us in the red. So... let's use some full heals. Yeah, I might actually have to rest soon. Uh, 2,000 magic damage for the whole party. God, it's like basically just like a stat check, isn't it? Maybe I should have gone back to get those levels. All right, well, let's rest. Yeah, that hurts. I mean, this is essentially like almost the highest end location in the game. I think we have one more after this. Fuck. I'm gonna just rest again. And we'll use super shelter. Yeah. And another 2,000 damage to everybody. Another thing that I will say is that attack magic is essentially pointless. I maybe used it a few times throughout the course of the game, but really it's just like beefing up your big frontliners and just kind of one or two shotting everything. That's most of the game. To get your prize, answer my riddle. Look at the center of each level and solve the following. Level 1 times level 2 times level 3 times level 4. Yeah, so there's been like numbers outlaid in the walls, which is really easy to see if you're looking at a map. You know, you can just see the number. But if not, you'd have to basically map it out yourself and figure out what number the walls are in the shape of. Crazy stuff. Alright, that's the gold ID card gotten. And then... Okay, so then we have to come back here. Damn, I wish I had a second character with Lloyd's Beacon. Fucking, why don't Druid... Oh, Druid does get it! Perfect. Awesome. Well, then we can just cast... Why did I not realize that? Not enough spell points. Where did all your spell points go? Alright, 5 more permanent levels for 3 of my characters, and then the other 3. Spread the love. Easy.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Prince Roland, brother to King Burlark, ruler of Zeen. I must thank you for freeing me from that stasis chamber Alamar put me in. Your arrival here means that you have done much to put things right in the world, And for that, I and the royalty of Zine are grateful. Though you have worked toward the goal of securing Zine's future more than anyone else, there is still work to be done. Queen Kalindra and I are destined to marry on the cloud world above Darkstone Tower. You hold the key to the tower, but you will also need a key to open the way to the cloud world above the tower. That key can be found in the Southern Sphinx on the other side of the world. I have here the amulet of the Southern Sphinx. Take it, it's yours. I must return to my brother and prepare for the wedding. Once again, thank you and good luck.
Plus 5 million XP. Alright. So yeah, that's the last dungeon we have to go to, I guess. So let's let me put on sorcery, and then we're gonna town portal to Olympus, which is the highest end town in the game. A pass. Okay. And here you can train up to level 200. I don't know where you go to train past level 200, I'll be honest. But we won't have to worry about that.
Get lost, pretty.
Okay.
Get pretty. Pretty.
Yeah, these guys aren't as good as the guy from Might and Magic 4.
Pretty good. Pretty. Get lost, pretty. Get lost.
Okay, so yeah, level 181. Pretty damn high. Oh, and then I fell off the world. So now we're going to... So we gotta go back to Cloud View. Back to Mind Magic 4. Rest again real quick. So Gungun has 4,700 HP naturally. Quite a bit. The Southern Sphinx is at A2. I went kind of in the wrong direction here. We'll get there. There it is.
You may enter, but be warned, none shall leave alive.
God, it's so 90s PC gaming. It's amazing. Do our usual buffs, of course. Never a reason not to have them. And here we have the final dungeon. I think? This can't be correct. Fucking ghost mummies? Now, I will say these things can age you, which is a legitimate concern for my characters now. Very easy to die. For 2 million gold, I can protect you from the chopping death. Hell yeah. Sounds great. This is super embalming fluid. Will deal 5,000 damage, poison damage, but you get 2 million XP. For 2 million gold, I can protect you from the swinging death. Yeah, why not? Some more super embalming fluid. So you could rack up 4 million XP pretty easily. Alright, we're protected from traps. Except these, which are fucking curse traps. So now my guy's cursed 6. If any character is cursed, be gone, cursed ones. Fucking hell, so I had to jump through that. Fuck. I mean, I don't know what the point of me avoiding it now is. I may as well just get cursed, but... okay, well, there's a different way we can go. More super embalming fluid. And then all this stuff that we get to just avoid because we paid the Pied Piper. And then we go down to this floor, which has dragon mummies. Certainly a bit tougher there. Okay, and then there's a lot of what exactly is on this floor? Super Dragon Embalmer. They'll add another 5 levels. So there's a bunch of those. You needed more levels. Yeah, I don't think I really care. Okay, so we have to go up, which means we have to get decursed, unfortunately. So, we'll just town portal back. Actually, we could Lloyd's Beacon this. So I don't think we have to go back to Alamar's castle ever again. So we're gonna go this way. We're gonna hit with more curses, blah blah blah. And then here we're going to Lloyd's Beacon. Right, and we're gonna set it there, then we're gonna town portal. Go right back to Vertigo.
May we help you?
Yes, you may help me. Okay. And then we Lloyd's Beacon, return. What is my name? Yeah, you want to know what his name is? Picard. Okay. So there's the Throne of Legends. If you don't have a Legendary Award, which you had to get in a different dungeon for all your characters, you become eradicated. So thankfully we had that, even though...
So you've come to me for the Chime of Opening. What could you possibly offer me in exchange? I've been around for thousands of years and I've seen everything. Well, almost everything. There is one mysterious item that I haven't seen. It's called a widget. It's a hypothetical item whose existence has never been proven. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Really? Do you have one?
Yeah.
Would you like to trade it for the Chime of Opening?
Yeah.
Then make it so.
There you go. Got the Chime of Opening. Other things in here, some books. I don't know. And then you can summon phase mummies. Is that the most powerful enemy in the game? No. Okay. Now we're gonna Lloyd's Beacon with the Chime of Opening. Back to Darkstone Tower. The seal has been broken. Another CD load. Okay. And then now we have... Okay. Can I just teleport? It would be quite stupid to do this without a map, because you'd have no clue of where you're jumping. Oh no, they disable it. So I noticed that in Might and Magic 4, actually, there's an abundance of just cheesy bullshit you can do with teleport. Like, it's very easy to just skip through entire dungeons. Underground, like, just go through walls. And you can bypass entire puzzles and all that sort of stuff by just teleporting. It seems they caught on to that with Might and Magic 5. And that's no longer the case. Teleport's disabled in most dungeons. It's a bit of a bummer, but it's understandable. But certainly makes teleport not nearly as useful as it used to be. Alright, so I'm not quite sure if we hit 5 a.m. and we're not at the center, our levitate's gonna wear off. And I don't know what happens if I recast it before then. Oh, I guess there's these rest stops, yeah. Alright, it's 1 a.m. We got time. I don't know how you would know what time it is ordinarily. But thankfully, we know. I think we'll actually make it. One misstep where you'd have to go all the way back up here and do this all over again. Save often. Always a good lesson for CRPGs. Might and magic. Okay, and then here we're going to jump over to the end. Congratulations, adventurers. Let the unification ceremony begin. And so the call went out to the people throughout the lands of Zine that the prophecy was nearing completion. They came in great numbers to witness the momentous occasion. What the hell? The Dragon Pharaoh presided over the ceremony. Queen Kalindra presented the Cube of Power. Prince Roland presented the Zine Scepter. Together they placed the Cube of Power. And the scepter onto the altar of joining. That's the world? Just this big fucking Pop-Tart in space? Put a lot of effort into this true ending. With the prophecy complete, the two sides of Xeen were united as one. And there you go. There's my true final score, baby. What a ridiculous high number. Why did they have to go so high with it? What the fuck is that? 1.7 billion? That's my score? And that's World of Xeen. Okay, so like I didn't, when I started this, I think I said I didn't expect to beat any of them. And now I guess I beat 2 of them. But yeah, I mean, Where Are We made it just super easy. And the game itself, you know, like outside of the puzzles, just from like a combat mechanical standpoint, it's not really that hard of a game. Although, again, it probably would have been a little different tale if I didn't have solutions to everything and was getting loads of XP, and I had to really work for my XP and money and stuff. But yeah, I mean, the thing was, like, I was never frustrated, ever, at all, during the whole thing. And that's why it was just so fun and easy to just kind of play through and finish. But does it have a lot of replayability? Yeah, I don't know. Am I ever going to want to come back to Might and Magic 4 and 5? I don't know. That's kind of hard to say, because the randomized loot is not that random or interesting. You know, it's not like, you know, when you think of random loot, you think of like Diablo or something like that, where there's like, you know, uniques that you can get and a gear that has like special properties. You know, there's nothing like a sword that you can swing here that has a chance to throw a fireball when you hit, or, you know, there's nothing like that. It's pretty much all numbers. Everything's numbers. They stripped down, they got rid of the weapons that can cast spells. So that's now entirely relegated to like wands and stuff that have limited charges. And then the special properties that they have are just like Bug Masher or something, or Dragon Slayer, that it just does ×3 damage to those types of creatures. That's it. There's like 6 of them. And then all the rest is just like a tier. There's like, you know, wooden, iron, steel, platinum, diamond, you know, there's a whole bunch of those. So it's all pretty much just numerical. So it's not super interesting from a randomized gear standpoint. And I'm hoping that that's what improves in the next few entries in the series. So that doesn't really add to replayability. There are classes that I didn't play as, but you do kinda, you don't have to. You could, I think, theoretically beat the game with just one knight. I think it would be tough, because you'd have to have you'd have to get some wands and stuff that would have like teleport, because there is a part at the end of 4 you have to have teleport. There is no other way. You have to have teleport in order to teleport 9 spaces to get to the final dungeon. There is no other way around it. So you either have to have someone that can cast it, an archer or a sorcerer, or you have to have a wand or something, or a scroll that can do it. And I don't know how common a wand of teleportation is. I don't think I ever saw one. So there's that, you know. But outside of that, a lot of it is just kind of convenience, you know, healing and Lloyd's Beacon and Town Portal and the buffs and stuff. So I guess theoretically you could do one night, but it would be pretty rough, I think. But yeah, you know, there's not a whole lot of class variety or anything, and there's not a whole lot of spell variety that's like, I don't know, because like doing spellcasters only sounds just like a nightmare. Just because of how clunky it kind of is to cast spells and recharge your spell points. It's so easy to just have a bunch of fighters just mash the fight button and kill everything. So yeah, I don't know. But like I said, for my one playthrough through it, I had plenty of fun, and I'm really excited to get to more games in the series, especially 6 and 7 that I hear a lot of good things about. Before we get to 6, though, before we get to the Mandate of Heaven, I did have the idea, I made the decision that we may as well, since we're going through all this, we may as well look at the spin-off series that became more famous and more popular than the main series, and that's Heroes of Might and Magic. So, World of Zine came out in 1994. And then between then and Might and Magic 6 in 1998, we actually got 2 Heroes of Might and Magic games. New World Computing actually released a bunch of games in between, most of which you probably never heard of, like Anvil of Dawn and Wetlands and Chaos Overlords. Because they were a publisher as well as a developer. So they published a bunch of stuff. But they developed a game called Zephyr, Multimedia Celebrity Poker, featuring Jonathan Frakes and Morgan Fairchild, and Joe Piscopo. But they also did Heroes of Might and Magic 1 and 2. So I want to go chronological here. So we're going to do Heroes of Might and Magic 1, and then 2, and then finally we'll get to Might and Magic 6. And then it'll be Heroes of Might and Magic 3, and then Might and Magic 7, and then Might and Magic 8, and then Heroes of Might and Magic 4, and then Might and Magic 9. Yes. And then I think Might and Magic 10? I don't know, they actually stopped making the game. Might and Magic 10 is not from New World Computing. But anyways, yeah, so we're gonna brief looks at Heroes of Might and Magic. We're not gonna do multi-part videos or anything for those games. I just want to look at the series a bit, partly for nostalgia's sake. So that's what we're going to do next. But don't worry, we'll get back to Might and Magic 6. We're going to let it stew a little bit and build up the excitement even more. I'm sure it'll be plenty of fun. For now, though, my name is Mangg. Game watching has been Might and Magic 4 and 5, The World of Zine. I'll see you fine folks in Heroes of Magic. Heroes of Might and Magic.